thank you so much for this conversation, and more than anything, thank you very much for everything that Driscolls does. We are really just thrilled to be being able to celebrate and honor the work of Driscolls this year as a keeper of the American dream. So let me just start with a big thank you.
You're welcome.
Tell us a little bit about Driscolls, but more specifically, how does Driscolls come to work with and depend on the immigrant community in so many different ways?
Yeah, I mean, in our business, we've been around for a long time. We formally got created in 1952, but really, the creators of Driscolls, okay, their families have been farming berries in California since the 1860s, and they themselves were immigrants to the United States. And the immigrant community has always had a major role to play in agriculture, particularly in California, whether that was the Japanese community, and now much more recently, mostly the Hispanic community. And so the immigrant community has always played a very important role. Today, there are tens of thousands of people that pick Driscoll's berries every single year. And so they're absolutely a critical part of what we do every day.
From your perch leading Driscoll's the Americas, how have the contributions of the immigrant workforce become even more clear just over the last 18 months?
Well, as we're sitting here today, 18, 19 months into the pandemic, and we see the kind of issues we have in the global supply chain, the reality is that we've been able to keep food on everybody's table every single day. There's been absolutely minimal disruptions of the food supply chain where the general supply chain has been disrupted. That would not have been possible without farm workers all over the place. And there's about 1.8 million farm workers in the United States. And 85% of those farm workers were born in a different country than the US. And if they had not shown up for work every single day to harvest berries, to cut lettuce, milk cows, there wouldn't have been food on the table every day. And so that has been pretty seamless, okay, to the average American. And without the farm workers doing that job every day, that would not have been possible.
So the theme of this year's convening is trusted solutions for a brighter future. And when you look at the company, Driscolls as a company, but the workforce that you partner with across the US, much less around the world, what are the trusted solutions in the immigration space that make for a brighter future? Again, for Driscolls, but much less for consumers across the country.
Well, the reality is in all developed countries around the world where you have a significant amount of agriculture, it is mostly an immigrant workforce that does the work. Unfortunately, in the United States is one of the few places where we operate where there isn't a very good sort of permanent solution for that workforce in place. We have operated now under a pretty loose, not well-defined structure for almost 50 years, since the end of Bracero program all the way back in the 60s. And that makes this whole food supply chain incredibly vulnerable. So we need a more permanent fix. And there are really sort of three components to it, where there's a little bit of give and take for everybody.
Soren, thank you so much. And again, it's always just tremendous to be able to partner with Driscolls every single day. And we really look to you for guidance on these important issues. And
well, thank you very much. And we love being your partner.